Thank you so much for being here to support our schools, support our students, support all of our efforts that we're putting into place to make sure that what New Rochelle City School District does is going to lead to having an earth for our future generations. So thank you very much for that. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause for being in this room. It might not feel like much, but we never see the fruits of our labors until after the fact, until somebody else shares with us, wow, you really helped me to think about something a little bit differently. And even if it's just that one mind that you can change about what they do in their own household, you've done a job, because that will have a ripple effect. So thank you for all that you do. And I want to just bring greetings. And everybody in the room is important, so if I don't call your name, don't think that you're not important to me. But I would like to firstly start off by recognizing our Board of Education President, Mr. William Iannuzzi. Our Mayor of the City of New Rochelle, Mayor Yadira. And our Deputy Mayor, Mayor Sarah, I'm going to say Sarah Kay, but I want to recognize her for all of the work that she's done leading up to this as well. So I would like to share at this point that the person who brought all of our efforts to my attention and everything that we've done so far is standing right beside me. Our Director of Facilities, Mr. Keith Watkins, who one day said, hey, you know what, Dr. Reynolds, we're doing so much. I think that there's a little bit more that we can do to help reduce our footprint as it relates to sustainability and to the environment. And what do you think about, and I want to give Keith an opportunity to share how that conversation went, but more importantly, share the rewards that we've reaped because of just taking one little step during the summer and during the beginning months of school. So, Mr. Keith Watkins, our Director of Facilities.
Well, thank you. I'm going to be brief. Honestly, been here 7 years. I started my 34th year in facilities management in New York State Public Schools. Obviously too long ago. I've got a few years left in me, and I hope to make the most of it. So we're not done yet doing great things. What I'm most excited about is the fact that I can look into the crowd, and yes, I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of colleagues, a lot of new friends, but I also see a handful of students with us. So without students, why are we here? Right? So I want to applaud our 3 students that are here. We have some fellow students from neighboring school districts that are here to learn, maybe chime in as to what their own schools are doing, collaborate with our students. The culmination of many good ideas will at the end come together for the optimum idea. And when I look at the other faces and I look at all the time we've spent on Zoom and in person, yes, I am sick of seeing you, but I know the work is plentiful, and we have the right people in place to get the heavy lifting done, which I think a lot of folks raise their hand, but they don't really know what they're volunteering for. And I don't see anyone here who raised their hand because their commitment has been strong until this day. So the conversation that Dr. Reynolds talked about real quick was about an energy response demand, energy curtailment program. The district had been looking at it previously with other partners, and I just couldn't find the right fit. At one of our Green Schools Committee meetings, the students that are here to represent our students, our wonderful students, talked about their priorities and why they chose to be with us from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and not just go home and do what they want to do. They're obviously vested, they had a common interest. And one of the things I heard right out of the gate was reducing energy consumption, carbon footprint, and just sustainability. It's a big word, and it encumbers a lot. But I heard energy savings, less energy. So one of the things that we had already been talking about in the facilities department was an energy curtailment demand response program. We were actually here for a fair to highlight our students' projects, and I ran into representatives of Sustainable Westchester. And we started talking real quick, and all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, where have you been? Here we are, what are we doing? Within a week we had this thing hammered out. We put the wheels in process. We didn't get all of our buildings on the registry for the program. We were able to get the ones that we knew we had the larger equipment at that we think we could get the low-hanging fruit from, and that's what we're here to celebrate today. But I'd be remiss again if I didn't say this talk, this conversation amongst the adults, not that you're not, right? It just took a meeting of minds and our student representation to say something that they had thought of, that they wanted to see some action taken on. And their teacher, Ms. Glenn, who's here with us as well. The mentorship that's being applied there is phenomenal. So a little bit of a spark, sometimes a little push, I won't even say a kick, but it sparks great intuition and ideas, and I want to thank our students for actually bringing it full circle, because I'm not sure that we would have got this rolling as fast as we did if you guys didn't share what was on your mind. So that is always appreciated. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Kim Nieves, who has been our Green Schools Committee advisor for the district and has put in hours and hours of time to make sure we got to where we are today. So Kim? Kim's going to share just mission goals and things that we're working on. Or maybe what's been done already in the district with gardens and things like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see you. I'm the principal of Jefferson, like Keith shared. We have a subcommittee where it's called the Green Schools Subcommittee for Education. And on that subcommittee, we have a representative from each school, including our alternative high school Huguenots. And each school has had the opportunity to develop gardens, garden beds, and even in some schools we have tower gardens indoors. So we're very excited about that. This year I know we're putting in some more gardens in each school, and we're also working on having outdoor space. So that's something else that we're working on. I think that's it for the Green
Yeah, we're planning for the fair that's coming up.
All right,
again,
and we're having
our
a
second.
Green School Fair like we did last year. Last year in May, each school came and represented what they thought was important looking at a green audit. And each school did it differently, which was really interesting. So they talked about energy, they talked about the environment, they talked about the footprint of each school, the gardens at each school. So it was very interesting to have the kids represent themselves at the Green Fair last year. We're having another Green Fair this year on Wednesday, May 15th, here at House 4 at the high school. We're looking forward to that. And we're also looking forward to expanding our green teams in each school, because last year they were smaller, it depended on the leader of each school. But this year we want the representatives from each school to really expand it and include more students in the Green Club, working on environmental issues and the gardens. And that's really it. Thank you.
One of the things that you guys don't get to see behind the scenes is the fact that there was a culmination of many Zoom calls, training sessions. I actually had my 3 HVAC technicians who are all assigned to certain buildings. This building is 520,000 square feet and represents 1/3 of our district.
Wow.
Okay, so we have one person assigned to this building, because if you do the easy math, 3 people, one guy, okay, there you go. But we had to send them through some training, because the software used with logical buildings and our smart meters, they all have to talk to each other. So we needed to really fine tune our building management system, which allows us to set points like 7 p.m. shut down from 70 degrees to 62, just like you do at home. So it took a little bit of training with our own staff. So I'm going to not obviously take the credit. I'm good at putting people together so we can all be successful. So I'd love to just make a shout out to my 3 HVAC technicians as well, because without them, we wouldn't even get into the system. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Kay, Deputy Mayor, info on city efforts and our collaborative efforts with the school district.
Thank you, Keith. Like you said, I'm Sarah Kay. I serve on the New Rochelle City Council, and I'm joined here by our new mayor, Yadira Ramos-Herbert, and also Paul Presendu, who I know is a leader on the Green Schools Committee, but also chairs our Environmental Advisory Committee. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of this event. The City of New Rochelle is a proud member of Sustainable Westchester, and we celebrate the partnership that has been forged between the Green Schools Committee and Sustainable Westchester. By coming together, the school district was able to take advantage of a demand response program and earn significant funds and reduce pollution. I want to commend the students, the faculty, and administrators for their advocacy and taking this important step. Because let's face it, climate change now impacts virtually every aspect of our lives, whether it's concern over our children's health and the quality of the air that they breathe, or finding a job in a changing economy, or keeping up with the cost of living with rising utility bills. And in order to confront the climate crisis, we must take action, which is why your participation in a demand response program by reducing dependence on polluting peaker power plants is so important. Now, New Rochelle has long been a leader when it comes to sustainability. The city was among the first participants in Westchester Power Community Choice Aggregation Program. We have Greener, our award-winning sustainability plan that's now undergoing a comprehensive refresh. In 2021, New Rochelle was the first city in Westchester to declare a climate emergency. Last year, we launched the Climate Ready initiative, and New Rochelle recently attained bronze certification under the state's Climate Smart Communities program. But in order to continue building on that success, we need great partners like the city's school district. We need innovative programs and technical support like what Sustainable Westchester and Logical Buildings provides. And we need leadership from our youth, our administrators, and elected officials. When you have all of these things, that's what culminates in days like today, where we can celebrate the work that's already been done to create a cleaner, more resilient, and equitable future. So I just want to applaud each and every one of you who made this day possible. Thank you.